Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC, your ultimate hub for everything Liverpool. Today, we've got a transfer storm and drama overload, from Hugo Ekitike's bombshell and Alexander Isak's blockbuster move to Konate criticism, Van Dijk's fiery comments, and even Diego Simeone's clash with Arne Slot. Stay tuned, Reds. This one's pure madness. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window. Ekitike bombshell leaves Slot with problem as agent of Atletico star reveals. Liverpool transfer truths. The agent for Atletico Madrid striker Julian Alvarez has dived into summer speculation suggesting his client could have joined Liverpool, but Arne Slot has been left with another headache amid strong claims Hugo Ekitike wouldn't have joined the Reds had he known Alexander Isak was signing. The Merseysiders were this. Summer's headline acts across the transfer window, lavishing some 440 on an array of new world-class additions to reinforce Arne Slot's squad. And while Liverpool did manage to offload several unwanted players of their own, the champions' new-look side already looked like the team to beat this season. With 5 wins out of 5 so far, Liverpool certainly looked menacing, and with Isak and Ekitike both bolstering their attack. Slot's options are the envy of many. However, with French football journalist Julien Laurens now claiming Ekitike would not have signed had he known Isak would also arrive, Slot may be faced with an issue over how to keep the Frenchman happy. Ekitike started on the bench on Wednesday night as the Reds overcame Atletico 3-2 in the Champions League, with the Swede's performance drawing wholesome praise and with our analysis of all his best moments highlighting his brilliance. When asked if Ekitike would have joined the Reds if Isak was already there, Laurens told BBC Radio 5 Live, "I really don't think so, no." He signed after a first approach from Liverpool to Newcastle for Isak, when they closed the door. Laurens added, "That was before Isak went on strike and stopped training with them, and then Liverpool reverted to Ekitike, who was on his way to Newcastle because he was supposed to be the replacement, or to play together if nobody came for Isak. We knew that as soon as Isak was fit, that the one to be dropped was Ekitike. It was just very clear. Can they play together? Of course they can. You could play Ekitike from the start, but off the left, but that's not really his position. It was just one of Ekitike and Isak in the team, and it was never going to be Ekitike over Isak if Isak was fit." With Slot now left with the somewhat enviable dilemma of keeping both players happy, the agent of another striker linked with Liverpool this summer, Alvarez, has spoken out to explain how a move to Anfield was never on the cards for his client. Slot can handle Ekitike as Alvarez agent reveals Liverpool truths, perhaps anticipating the tough selection battle that lied ahead were he to move to Anfield. Alvarez's agent, Fernando Hidalgo, insists a return to the Premier League was never on the cards for his client. National media react to Death Star Liverpool and Alexander Isak. What madness! How the national media reacted to Liverpool's 3-2 win over Atletico Madrid in the Champions League on Wednesday evening. They've only gone and done it again. Liverpool continued their habit of dramatic late victories by defeating Atletico Madrid 3-2 in their Champions League opener on Wednesday evening. Virgil van Dijk powered home a header in the second minute of injury time. After early goals from Andy Robertson and Mohamed Salah were wiped out by a double strike from Marcos Llorente. It made for a satisfying ending at Anfield. And while the Echo was in attendance and provided our usual level of coverage, here's how the national media viewed another important result for Arne Slot's side. It is pertinent to wonder just what Alexander Isak, who made his long-awaited debut, thought of it all, he says. He will have heard about European nights at Anfield and was immediately immersed into all of the unrelenting drama with Atletico manager Diego Simeone sent off in the aftermath of the defining act. In contrast, Isak's bow lasted 58 minutes and was relatively low-key. Liverpool did not need him to start their Champions League campaign on a winning note, but there was evidence to suggest he will shape matches in their favor in the future. The fascination over exactly how Slot juggles his attacking riches in the event of them all being available will not end here, primarily because it will always lead to more questions, Barney Ronay of The Guardian continued, on the theme of the Sweden international. Now witness the firepower of this fully operational Death Star, he pens. 4 months, one record transfer, and an endless rolling multiverse of internet rage since his last club game. Alexander Isak has now finally rematerialized in physical form. As rust-laden, non-goal-scoring club debuts go, Isak's minutes at Anfield made for a fascinating spectacle, in part for the sheer event glamour, the rubbernecking aspect, like witnessing a personal appearance at a shopping center by your favorite controversial reality TV star, but also for the sheer data overload in a thrillingly open game dotted with wildness. From a Diego Simeone crowd surf red card climax, to the endless tactical complexities that continue to flow from Arne Slot's attempts to re-gear his Liverpool team along these giddily attacking lines. Over at the Daily Mail, Dominic King looked at the growing partnership between Isak and fellow new signing Florian Wirtz. What madness this was, but then again, Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid had the potential to be a blockbuster. A night when the stadium crackled with nervous energy, and so it proved, he types. It became an occasion that seemed to have a place in next May's final in Budapest riding on it. Slot will have much to digest in the next 48 hours and, for sure, will bemoan the 2 goals conceded, but when he settles down, his eye will be drawn to one passage of play especially, put together by a dynamic duo who gave a tantalizing glimpse into the future. Ibrahima Konaté, not as good as he thinks, as Liverpool told to sign Marc Guehi. Ibrahima Konaté could leave Liverpool for free next summer, when his current contract with the Anfield club is due to expire, and Crystal Palace defender Marc Guehi could arrive to replace him. Ibrahima Konaté has been told that he's not as good as he thinks he is by former Liverpool striker Stan Collymore, who believes the Reds could find at least half a dozen better partners for Virgil van Dijk from around Europe than the Frenchman. Konate could leave Liverpool for free next summer, when his current contract with the Anfield club is due to expire, and Crystal Palace defender Marc Guehi could arrive to replace him. Liverpool almost signed Guehi on deadline day earlier this month, only for Palace to pull the plug on the deal at the 11th hour due to Oliver Glasner's concerns over a lack of defensive cover in the Palace squad. Guehi, like Konate, is set to become a free agent in 2026, and Collymore believes he would be a more than adequate replacement for the Frenchman, who continues to be linked with a free transfer to Real Madrid. I think with Konate, there may be an element that he thinks he is better than he really is. Collymore told 10Bet Casino, "If you look over his Liverpool career, and if you were to ask the club's supporters to be honest, after all the hype and everything that comes from playing for Liverpool, they will say he's not the next great European central defender. I think over the course of his career at Anfield, he's been a 6 out of 10 player. If we're talking about Virgil van Dijk, he's a solid 9 out of 10. So, one of the reasons why Liverpool wanted to go in for Marc Guehi was probably to have their backup ready in case Konate didn't sign a new contract in the summer. I think the club will probably have Guehi on the back burner for the summer to replace Konate, and I think Arne Slot has already hinted they might make another move for him in January and not even wait. That move will depend on Crystal Palace and their progress in Europe. I think Konate is a good center-back, but he's not a great central defender, and Liverpool could find 6, 7, 8 options from around Europe, from the Premier League, from La Liga, from Serie A, from the Bundesliga that would be better central defenders to partner Virgil van Dijk. So, for me, I've always looked at this situation and gone, this isn't something to be terrified about. This is just something where Liverpool needs to be proactive and bring somebody in. And I think that somebody might be Marc Guehi in January. Diego Simeone reveals what he said to Arne Slot after furious red card versus Liverpool Atletico Madrid boss Diego Simeone endured a dramatic evening as his side were beaten 3-2 at Anfield in the Champions League, with the Argentine also getting sent off towards the end. Diego Simeone told Arne Slot that Atletico Madrid could have earned a draw in their dramatic defeat to Liverpool. The Spanish side fell to a 3-2 defeat at Anfield on Wednesday evening in their Champions League meeting. Andrew Robertson and Mohamed Salah had seemingly put Liverpool on their way to a comfortable win with early strikes, only for Marcos Llorente to level matters with 2 second-half goals. Virgil van Dijk eventually got Liverpool over the line with his stoppage-time strike, And speaking after the game, Atletico boss Simeone told Slot that his side could have snatched a draw with even more late dramatics. Speaking to Spanish TV after the game, he said, "The team reacted to a 2-0 deficit on a tough pitch, especially the first goal that bounced back and ended up becoming a goal, boosting the opponent's morale. We reacted to that dangerously tough 2-0 deficit, got into the game, fought hard, got the equalizer. I was saying to Slot it could have been 3-3 with Sorloth's shot at the end, and that's the way to go. In the Champions League, we're going to face opponents of this caliber who are very good, and we showed that we're ready to compete." Simeone was at the heart of a bizarre incident after Van Dijk's winning goal as he was sent off after an exchange with a Liverpool fan, and the Argentine has since explained why he was dismissed. He added, "They always talk about taking care of each other, but they insult you throughout the entire match, and you can't say anything because you're the manager. My reaction was unjustifiable, but do you know what it's like to be insulted for 90 minutes? To turn around after the opponent scores and still be insulted? It's not that easy." The referee told me he understood me. I hope Liverpool can improve that aspect, and that when they identify the person who did that, there will be consequences. There were insults throughout the match, including gestures. It's clear that I'm the one who has to stay calm. I have to put up with the insults, the gestures, and any situation, because I'm in a position where I have to put up with it. I'm not really going to get into the exact nature of the insults. I don't want to get involved in that. I have got to stay in my place. I know what went on behind the manager's bench. I can't solve society's problem in one press conference. I have to live with it as it exists all over the place all of the time. Virgil van Dijk reveals what he told Alexander Isak and makes unnecessary. Liverpool admission. Virgil van Dijk has spoken after Alexander Isak made his Liverpool debut in the Champions League win against Atletico Madrid at Anfield on Wednesday evening. Virgil van Dijk has revealed the message he gave Alexander Isak ahead of the British record signing's Liverpool debut, but admits Arne Slot's side are making matters unnecessary for themselves after more late Anfield drama. Van Dijk netted in the second minute of injury time to earn the Reds a 3-2 win over Atletico Madrid in their Champions League opener on Wednesday evening. Isak, who arrived on deadline day for $125 million from Newcastle United, featured for 58 minutes and twice forced Atletico goalkeeper Jan Oblak into saves while showing signs of an understanding with another summer signing, 160 meters attacking midfielder Florian Wirtz. And Van Dijk is convinced Isak has already shown he can make an impact should he feature in Saturday's Merseyside derby against Everton at Anfield. "Very good," said the Liverpool skipper when asked for his assessment of Isak's display. "I said to him before the game, just do you thing and enjoy the whole thing and be important. That is not obviously with goals, but link-up play and pressing as well. And I think that was very good from him. It's just a start. He has to recover and be ready for Saturday. Whether he starts or not, he will have to be there and ready to help us as well. The new guys need a bit of time. That's normal. But they all did well, and we keep going." Van Dijk's goal was the 5th time in succession Liverpool have sealed victory with a goal in the 83rd minute or later, having seen an early lead earned by goals from Andy Robertson and Mohamed Salah wiped out by a Marcos Llorente double. It was also the 3rd time this season the Reds have surrendered a 2-goal lead, and the centre-back said it was a little bit unnecessary. But Atletico are a team who never give up, have a lot of quality, and we gave them a boost by letting them score just before halftime, and we were frustrated at the second goal. A massive deflection. Then we showed again the resilience we have shown for a couple of years. But we don't want to come into a situation where we have to chase. You have to try to go for the win, and we had the opportunities to kill the game and do better. But it is still progress. We are still learning, and I am pretty confident we are going to get there. Concentration now turns to Saturday's visit of Everton, in which there could be as many as 5 derby debutants for Liverpool. And Van Dijk has explained how the new signings will be prepared for the 247th meeting between the teams. "Obviously, you don't let them work it out for themselves," said Van Dijk. "They have a feeling for it, but the manager will have meetings. We will all speak about it in the next couple of days. It's a game to look forward to, and I think everyone will do. I'm not worried. The guys who are here have played in good stadiums, good games. Not the Merseyside derby, obviously, but I am confident they will be absolutely fine. Liverpool underpaid for Alexander Isak as claim made about blockbuster transfer Liverpool signed. Swedish forward Alexander Isak from Newcastle this summer for a fee of around 169 million, 125 million, which broke the British transfer. Record Liverpool has been told that it paid too little for Alexander Isak when the Swedish forward arrived at Anfield from Newcastle United this summer for a fee of around $169 million, 125 million. The Reds broke the British transfer record to bring Isak in after a long saga that saw the player go on strike. Newcastle eventually let him leave on the final day of the window after signing Nick Woltemade from Stuttgart as a replacement. I'd have paid whatever. Former Premier League centre-back Joleon Lescott, who made 26 appearances for England during his career, said on the mixer, brought to you by Sky Bet. I'd have paid whatever Newcastle wanted. Liverpool already were winning the league. They needed someone to make the difference in the Champions League. I think Isak is that. Isak made his debut as Liverpool faced Atletico Madrid on matchday 1. While he didn't score, he did show plenty of promise and pressed well for the 58 minutes he was on the field. Out of the 6 English clubs in the Champions League this season, Lescott believes Liverpool has the best chance of being crowned winners thanks to Isak's arrival. I think they're in a good position for the Champions League, Lescott added. But the Isak signing? Isak is a man-of-the-match player. I think Mohamed Salah is more of just a game winner. He is sometimes not involved and doesn't shine. Isak will occupy defenders in a different way. Liverpool now have 2 players who can get 20 or 30 goals in a season. Isak is that good, and they won't be surprised by him. Liverpool is not the favorite for the Champions League in Lescott's eyes, however. When asked for a selection, he simply said, Real Madrid. I was positively surprised by how fit Isak was during that 60 minutes, Arne Slot said. But that probably tells you that it might be a difference to sign a 20-year-old from a different league or a 25 or 26-year-old that is used to playing in this league. Although he only trained for 2 weeks, he has so many games under his belt that he is probably more able to be ready for 60. But I was positively surprised how fit he was. I wasn't surprised by his quality because that's what we all know.